You may be wondering why we're here today to talk about
Macbeth! Macbeth, in Act 4, Scene 1, is the scene where Macbeth stumbles upon the witches, and the witches proceed to summon their apparitions, or their masters, to tell Macbeth what the rest of his story will entail.
But they do not tell entire truths. The way they phrase their prophecies, they give him half-truths, so he believes that he is invulnerable.
And one example of these half-truths would be when the second apparition tells him to not to worry of any man born of a woman. Now, this is true, but what they don't tell is that the opposing side, or Macduff and Malcolm, Macduff was not born of a woman technically. He was cut open and taken out of his mother prematurely.
Hi, I didn't see you there. In our recreation of our scene for Macbeth, we struggled with how we would go about filming it. You know, there were so many possibilities for errors and really bad interpretations, and while we thought about it a lot, and we really thought about how we would go about it, it still came out kind of like, eh. So, regardless, we included a lot of academic research to back up our claims and show why we're interpreting it the way we are. We researched, witchcraft, mental illness, and filming techniques.
We also put a lot of thought in on how the witches would act. They have to be more traditional on the beginning of the play and have a more common view of witches. They're now seen around a cauldron, adding item after item to the cauldron. For our recreation, we'll be interpreting the witches as how they are seen around the cauldron, creating a potion with more movement in the action. The witches will look more like old hags and produce movements that are more eerie and ominous.
You gotta stop coming up on us like that. Anyways, in our scene, we would like to use special effects, CGI.
But we didn't have the time because so we just ended with stock images of guys on wheelchairs and whatnot.
Because sadly, we are a high school class. So, in the scene, we might not have the ability to make beautiful images such as other movies. So we're going to use the images as we can to predict Macbeth's future as best we can. We're going to use images of, bloody children, because, we have that. There's king babies, because, we have that. And then finally, we've got a floating knight's helmet, because, we have that. So, we're just going to be using that. We're going to be using stock photos of kings when the 8 kings appear, and then for Banquo, we'll just add another king, because, we have that. So, that's pretty much it.
Yeah, we have.
I think we should do kind of acting towards psychological elements.
I think we should act more on the physical area.
Yeah, and as Macbeth, I think I should act as a hubris, kingly man, and, make it to seem like I'm better than the witches. They should be bowing down to me and telling me what I need to do to secure my position as king.
Man, I think the witches should be the ones with the power, because I think whatever you play should be bowing down to us.
I agree.
Mm-hmm.
See, this is oppression, because kings are kings, and the queen does not bow down to anybody because she is the queen.
Your queen dies.
Queen Elizabeth II is still alive, my lady.
So for the end of the scene, when Macbeth goes to speak to Lennox, it's a very large tonal shift, as if it never happened, you see. So we'll emphasize this, film at different times of day, film in different locations, to make the viewer wonder if this experience with the witches even happened to Macbeth. In fact, we're putting so much emphasis on this that the actor for Lennox is not even here in this room with us.
And basically that's how it's all going to go down.
thrice the brinded cat hath mewed.
Thrice and once the hedge pig whined.
Hyperius cried, "'Tis time, 'tis time."
Round about the cauldron go, in the poison entrails throw, toad that under cold stone, days and nights has 31. Sweltering venom, poison got, boil thou first in the charmed pot. Double, double, toil and trouble, call fire burning, cauldron bubble.
Fillet a fenny snake in the cauldron boil and bake. Eye of newt and toe of dog, wool of bat and tongue of dog, adder's fork and blindworm's sting, lizard's leg and owlet's wing, for a chime of powerful trouble, like a hell broth boil and bubble.
Double, double, toil and trouble, fire burning, cauldron bubble.
Scale of dragon, tooth of wolf, witch's mummy, maw, guff, of the reverend salt sea shark, root of hemlock, digging in the dark, lever of blasphemy Jew, gallant goat and thirsty view, silver in the moonlight eclipse, nose of turkey, tartar's lips, nose, finger of birth, little babe, ditch delivered by the crab, make the girl Lucan's lab, add thereto down tiger's cauldron for reading.
Double, double, toil and trouble, fire burning, cauldron bubble.
Cool it with bad moon's blood, then charm. It's good, not good. By the pricking of my thumb, something wicked this way comes. Open locks, whoever knocks.
How now, you secret black and midnight hags? What is it you do?
A deed without a name.
I conjure you by which you profess. Howe'er you come to know it, answer me. Though you untie the winds and let them fight against the churches, answer me to which I ask.
Speak.
Demand.
Will answer.
Say, if thou'st rather hear it from our mouths or our masters.
Call him, let me see him.
Pour in Sal's blood that hath eaten her 9 pharaoh, grease that's sweating. From the murderer's gibbet throw into the flame. Come high or low, thyself in office deftly show.
Whate'er thou art, caution, thanks. For thou hast heart my fear aright. But one word more.
He will not be commanded. Here's another, more potent than the third. Macbeth! Macbeth!
Had I 3 ears, I'd hear thee.
Be bloody, bold, and resolute. Laugh to scorn the power of man, for none of woman born shall harm Macbeth.
Then live Macbeth, what need I fear thee? But I'll make assurance double sure. I'll take a bond of fate, and thou shalt not live. What's this that rises like the issue of a king, with a tree in its hand and upon its baby brow the top of sovereignty?
Listen, but speak not to it.
Be lions mantled, proud, and take no care. Who laughs, who threat, and where all conspirators are. Macbeth shall never be vanquished until great Burnham Wood, whom high fountain's hill, shall come against him.
That will never be. Who can impress the forest and bid the tree unfix his earthbound roots? Sweet Boneman's good! Yet my heart throbs to know one thing, if thou can answer it. Shall Banquo's issue ever reign in this kingdom?
Seek to know no more.
Answer me this and I will be satisfied. Yet deny it, and the curse will fall upon you. Why is the cauldron sinking? What noise is this?
Show. Show his eyes and grieve his heart. Come like shadows and so depart.
Too like the spirit of Banquo. Down! Thy crown sears mine eyeballs, and thy hair like the other gold-bound brow of the first, and the second, and the third, and the fourth, and the fifth, and the sixth, and the seventh, and the eighth. Thy apparitions disappear. What is this so?
Aye, sir, all this is so. But why stands Macbeth thus amazing me? Come, sisters, cheer we up his sprites, and show the best of our delights. I'll charm the air to give a sound, while you perform your antic round, that this great king may kindly say, our duties did his welcome pay.
Where are they? Gone? Let this be accursed in the calendar.
No, my lord.
Come they not by you?
No, indeed, my lord.
To be there upon they ride, and damned all those that trust him. I did hear the galloping of horse. Horse came by.
My lord, to bring you word. Macbeth has literally said.
Fatigue.
Aye, my good lord.
Time, thou anticipatest my dread exploits. Mighty purpose never is overtook unless the deed go with it. From this moment, the very firstlings of my heart shall be the firstlings of my hand. And now, to crown my thoughts with my acts, be it thought and done, the castle of Macbeth I will surprise. Seize upon Fife, and give it to the edge of the sword. His wives, his babes, and all unfortunate souls that trace him in his line, no boasting like a fool. This deed I will do before this purpose cool. But no more sights. Where are these gentlemen? Bring me to them. Come on.